Howdy everyone. Got another repair project here. What I've got is some aluminum washout buckets for a local concrete company, and the buckets get pretty jacked up hanging on the trucks. At the end of the pour during the cleanup process, they'll hang the buckets from the back of the chutes and do the clean out through there, and it gets pumped back on the truck and all that, so it limits what material is left over on the job site. This will be the second batch I've done of these, and doing the first batch I learned a couple tricks. You can see on this guy, the ear's completely busted off. Luckily they don't get stored by the hooks, they just set in a little space on the side of the truck, and these are only used again at the cleanup process. So this is one of the 4 buckets I'll be fixing, and this ear is in the best shape, and I'm looking at that because I'm going to use this as a reference to locate all the other ears. And customer keeps his stash of ears for issues like this, and so they brought them over. I didn't have to fabricate any of them. It's just 3/4 inch aluminum round bar. So got a quick little drawing here as a reference. I know from the bottom of the hook to the bottom of to the table here, the bottom of the bucket is 16 3/8, so I can use that dimension to line everything else up. The side of this hook is on the same plane as the grab handles here, or I'm assuming they're grab handles, and it's going to be perpendicular to the table, so I can line these up, clamp them on at the right height, and get a tack on there and weld them out once everything's done. So some of these I can straighten out by hand, like this one it's not very bad, so I'll just whack it into shape a little bit. I actually built a tool to straighten out some of the ears on the last one, and maybe I'll bring that out and show you. Just some 1-inch round bar that grabs this material between 2 posts on the end of the thing, and I can tweak it around. So I'm going to get out the cutoff disc, and I'm going to go ahead and lop all the ears off on these buckets. It's going to be noisy. The next step here is to grind down the welds and get this area prepped for a weld. So I'll use the sporty grit, new flat disc, knock it all down, and then I'll prep the area with a wire brush, trying to get all the crap out of there, and then I'll hit it with some acetone, and then we'll get to welding the items up. The location of the hooks isn't absolutely critical. I like to get the surface area down to the original area. So as I grind down, aside from looking for high and low spots visually, you can go ahead and try to touch it like this. So you can see obviously we're still high right here, and you can definitely feel that. So now I gotta clean up this, clean up the top edge here, because I do put a little bit of weld on the inside here. So I want to get rid of all this old concrete and grit and grime. That's about all I'm looking for to clean up the inside of that. And that's what we're going to weld to there. You see we've got this jacked up here. Decided not to cut it off and weld a new one on. More value for the customer to just have this thing fixed. It takes a lot less time to do the other work, plus they get to keep one of these for the next time. So the tool that I talked about near the beginning of the video was this guy, and I got the idea from a steel fab shop I used to work at. I was a sawyer there, and they use something like this on a bigger scale to flip beams and whatnot. Just kind of grab the part like this and give her a little tug a few times and get her in the right place. So I've got this set up. See it down here. I got it clamped in the vise, and the bottom end supported over on the table for the drill piece. And hopefully I can get enough torque on this without messing things up. And hopefully not cracking this. If I crack it, then I need to go in there and clean out the weld and fill it up and all that, and that's going to take probably more time than just cutting it all off and going for it. So far so good, no cracking. I'm just trying to get this again same shape as this. So it's pretty close right there. I don't want to put too much force on it or we'll crack it. So I'm going to give it one more tug here, and then we'll work this radius. Alright, there's that guy. Yeah, I know this is going to bend it back in again. It's just one of those things. You got to work it here, work it here, work it here. Putting a good amount of force on there. This, even though it's aluminum, it's quite hard to bend. You see we're a good bit off there still. If I get close to the radius, it's going to be fine, but you know, going to do what we can do. And I also need to bring it in line this way to get it parallel or perpendicular to the earth. That's good there. Now we just have to worry about working this radius. And I might put it in the vise and clamp it here, or put it over in the press and bring it closer together. We'll see how we go. Yeah, that's not wanting to bring that closer. It's just bringing this way again. I'm trying not to keep working this because it's going to get weaker and more prone to cracking. Is that just a little bit more? And then we'll try to close this up in the vise. I think we'll use this again as a table to support the bucket. All right, here we go. Let me zoom in a little bit for you. Close it up at just a little bit more than the radius here, and then it's going to open back up a touch, and I think that's going to work. Yeah, that'll definitely fly. About try to straighten this thing on one more axis. And that's right here. What I gotta do is bring this guy in like that. So my method for getting these guys square on here, the edge down here needs to be 16 3/8 from the bottom. I have that marked out on my rule here, so I can get a height set up and a perpendicularity set up to the earth by just dropping some things. Let's bring this in here like this. And square it up. Get it square to my square. And then just bring this in and clamp it over. Can't clamp it on the other side because of the hook, so I just come over like this and get it in place. Then I can verify by siding across with the other hook, or just coming back in with my square, getting in the way of the camera, and lining that up. The hook also has to be in line with the, I guess, the center line of the bucket as well, and I can just stand in front of the thing and sight in. And now we go on to tack welding it. I'll repeat the tack welding process on the rest of the 5 years after this one, and then I'll go through and weld them all.